You are listening to Directions from a Spiritual Tour Guide podcast. I am your host, Chanel Scott. I'm a psychic medium and energy healer who has been supporting those on a spiritual journey for over a decade. I'm your tour guide into the world of the unknown, showing you that the magic of the universe is at your fingertips. I believe spirituality is simple and fun, and this podcast will make it easily accessible, giving you the real talk on all things divine and spiritual, helping you to step into the flow, manifesting your dreams because we all deserve to be living our best life. Are you ready for an adventure? Hello, sunshines, and welcome to an episode of Directions from a Spiritual Tour Guide podcast. My name is Chanel Scott. I am your spiritual tour guide and your host. It's been a hot minute. Sorry about that. It just seems like this just keeps getting pushed to the side when I have a lot of things on my plate. And I feel like it's really important to honor when we don't have the time or space or capacity to share. I have had a few all set in my notebook ready to share with you, and I haven't found the time to record. We had illness go through our house, all those things. But again, I'm honoring where I am and the space and where I need to be. And today I need to be here with you. So do you believe that you have spirit guides? This one is an interesting topic of conversation because it has such a vastness to it. There are spirit guides that step into our lives when we are born, and they travel with us for our entire existence. There are spirit guides that step in and out of our lives very quickly to help contend with something very specific. But there are also spirit guides that are with us along our way, along our journey, to help us for certain parts of that journey. For example, maybe you had someone that stepped in childhood to help you to just get through school and to enjoy being a kid as much as possible. Maybe you're a business owner and you have spirit guides that step in when you need them to help you with your business. Spirit guides have a lot of different purposes and meanings, and they can be a lot of different things. So let's start there. When we talk about a spirit guide, we could be referring to a lot of different things under that label. A spirit guide is energy from the other side that steps in and helps us, guides us, is there to support us on our journey. Again, the length of that time that they are with us is determined by why they have come into our lives. Now, this spirit guide might be an ancestor that has come forward, someone that you were connected to a long time ago that has come forward again to work with you in this lifetime in their spirit form. This could be an energy that has never had a connection to us before and has just stepped into our lives because there is a purpose for them to be there. This can be an angel. Archangels can be a spirit guide or an ally. This could be a loved one on the other side that has chosen to walk with us again, even though they're no longer with us physically. Someone that we have known in this lifetime to just be there to support us and guide us on our journey. Spirit guides can also take on very unusual forms as well. Maybe a color, a vibration. Maybe it is an animal. It can be a lot of different things. It's just what we have opened ourselves to work with. For example, one of my spirit guides, one of my allies, is a turtle shell. It's a medicine. It isn't necessarily something that is living, or it once upon a time was. It's not a turtle, it's just its shell. But it was something that came into me that I know that I work with when I do energy work, and it is there to support me on that journey. And I know that sounds a little strange because it's this inanimate object, but it still holds a vibration and an energy that I can call on and speak to help me along my way. Another spirit of mine, animal, I have a spirit animal of a peacock. I have an orchid that works with me. They're all different things that come in for me in ways that they need to. And again, I know these sound really strange as things to work with, but there are things that I work with to be able to create. Maybe you work with a color. The vibration of a color is very powerful, and maybe it helps to guide other spirits or guardians or guides into you. Maybe it is just there to create a specific vibration for you. There are a lot of different ways that we can work with color and the vibration of those colors to act as a support or guide for us. Now, my favorite kinds of guides are the ones that are the ones that talk to us more, that are there and we feel their connection in a different way. They are here to, so why do they come into our lives? What are they here to do? So our spirit guides are here to help us on our journey. They are here for healing, support, knowledge or wisdom, protection, maybe to just guide you through a task. They are here for growth and learning. They are here for someone for you to connect with on the other side that is plugged into that divine energy in a different way than maybe you are able to access. There are a lot of reasons, again, that they will swoop into our lives, but one of the important things to remember is divine law asks that we must ask for support and we must ask for help. Often our spirit guides are there waiting for us. We just need to actually take action to ask, and they will come forward for us. We can tap into their frequency and allow ourselves to be bathed in that energy and that frequency, allowing us to connect to them and the wisdom that they have to share with us along the journey. But when we are disconnected from that, they can't just sneak in. We definitely have to ask for their help. And I know this sounds contradictory because we're saying, oh, it's a spirit guide, they're here, but then we also say, oh, you got to ask them for help. They can't interfere. Now, that being said, we hear beautiful stories of angels swooping in moments of chaos or accident or trauma, to help move through that piece. I often have these messages of people that have died tragically, felt nothing, and an angel has swooped in and taken them out so they didn't need to feel that. They were just lifted from their bodies. Sometimes that'll happen too, even if the person survives, they're swooped into their body while they're dealing with the trauma before they're placed back in again. That's a whole nother podcast. But when we are working through something like a healing journey, which so many of us are working through right now, our spirit guides are not necessarily going to jump in and push you in the right direction. Now, the universe does that to a certain extent, but never, or very rarely in a good way. When we're being pushed like that by the universe, it's because we are being pushed because we're not doing it. We're not listening to the signs, symbols, and messages. We're not doing the pieces that we need to do. So then the universe swoops in and helps to redirect us in the way that we're going. With a spirit guide, they are there to guide you and support you. They may be sending you messages, but they can't step in and fix things without your asking for their help. They're not going to step in and give you the exact answer you are looking for without asking for their help. Tapping into your spirit guides is a beautiful way to move along your spiritual journey, to really tap in, to connect to the things that you need along your journey. you can ask specifically for a spirit guide that has a specific purpose to help you. For example, I have 2 business spirit guides. I have one that is very staunch, wears a suit, has his briefcase, and he is a numbers guy. And he is there to help me with the business side of things. When I am like questioning which way to do, like which direction to move in, I can tap into that wisdom that he has to share with me. He can help me to see things or have awareness of things that are happening in my business. The other one that I have for business, and I'm so grateful for, is I have a spirit guide for technology. So when he first came in, he was this young, hip person who was behind a big, like in a music recording studio where they have those like big boards of all the buttons and dials and things like that. That's what he came in like. There was screens, and I was like, oh, you're helpful. He is here because the reality is my business involves a lot of technology. And I wear all the hats. I do not have an IT team. It is all me. So when my podcast won't update or upload, when my video won't edit properly or won't import songs, all of those things, when social media goes down, when my website has issues, it's all me. So he is there to support me and guide me. And sometimes he just points me in the right direction. Sometimes I just feel him holding space for me as I'm like moving through something that is challenging. And sometimes I feel like he's like, you need a new computer, get a bigger desktop, and things like that. So they're both business guides, but they both have a different purpose within my business. Same thing, like if you're on a spiritual journey, I have a lot of guides that work with me depending on what I'm doing. I have one main guide that comes in a lot when I'm doing healing work, but I also have a team, which consists of, I won't say just angels because it's more than just angels, but they come in and they support me in a protection sense. They set a boundary around the energies that are coming in for me, keeping me safe from anything that doesn't feel good. And I have boundaries around the way that I work, and they hold those boundaries for me as well. One of my number 1 rules, if you know me, is I don't do blood, guts, and gore. I don't like scary things. I just don't, which I know sounds crazy because the line of work that I do, but I don't like scary things. Do I deal with them? Yes, absolutely. But I don't need to see it. I don't need it to come in close to me to be able to deal with it and work with it. I can keep something that's really negative at an arm's length and still deal with it in the way that it needs to be dealt with without having to really like take on that energy or feel that energy in a way that is detrimental to me, because then I can't do my work. So that team comes in for that purpose for me. They hold space. They hold protection. They hold a channel from that divine energy to flow to me so naturally and easily, and I am so incredibly grateful for that. So, do you believe that you have spirit guides? And do you use them? Do you call on them? I am very curious and want to know. Who do you work with? And if there is something that you're working on through your life, is there someone that you can call on? And we don't have to define who that person is. For example, again, my grandma in spirit comes to me all the time, but I don't know that I would consider her one of my spirit guides necessarily, as much as I am blessed in the sense that I can connect with her very easily. And I feel her love and support when I need it. She doesn't come in a capacity in my work and that sort of stuff. She typically just comes in to say hi, to be with me, and to connect with me. That's kind of her capacity, right? So I can call on her not necessarily like a spirit guide, but she could be. Or maybe for you, you do have someone that is a family member who is a spirit guide that works quite closely with you. I can call on her. My business spirit guides came in when I asked for them to come in. I sat and I did like a meditation and a session that specifically that's what I was doing. I was calling them forward to work with me. I was having a greater awareness of them. So there are lots of ways that you can do this. I have a little gift for you. I do have a meditation that I created quite some time ago, I think last September, and it is a guided meditation to meet one of your spirit guides. So if you are interested in that, I will drop the link in the show notes so that you can click that and go and do the meditation. It is part of my Divine Map membership, which is my community that I have created that is all on a spiritual journey. And we work together on a monthly basis, numerous times, learning, growing, mentoring, just energy forecasts and card readings and all sorts of fun things in there. Doors will be opening again shortly for Divine Map membership if you want in. So keep your eyes peeled, get on my newsletter list. But you can go and do that meditation. It is one of the healing meditations that I have in there every month. There is a new one for moving through the energies of the month. So check that out. It might be helpful in you understanding one of your spirit guides that are with you on your journey. So think about who you might work with, or how you might work with someone in the work that you do, regardless of whether it's spiritual or not. Maybe in your day-to-day. Maybe there's something that you do, like I love to create hand-tied malas with crystals and sandalwood beads, and I definitely feel a spirit comes close to me when I'm doing that work. So maybe you have somebody that you call in for creativity. Maybe you have someone that comes in with the work that you do. Maybe there's someone that comes in to help you in the garden, or to be a better parent, or to work in your business. There are so many options and opportunities. I hope this gives you a bit of a glance into what it is like, or how to work with a spirit guide. I guess work with. Let's go there for a second, because I don't think I really touched on exactly how you can work with it. And there are lots of ways to work with your spirit guide, and it just depends on how you're connected to them. So the guided meditation that I just shared is a perfect way to work with a spirit guide. Is you could do a guided meditation that helps you connect to your spirit guide and shares a message. Maybe you channel your spirit guide. That's kind of what I do. I channel their information, channel their energy. If you want to learn more about channeling, definitely Divine Map is an option, or you can do a course that's specifically for channeling. I highly recommend Lori Wilson in Inner Access. She has a channeling for as a profession course that you could take. You could just do like automatic writing to connect with your spirit guide. You could do silent meditation to hear them better. Maybe you connect with them when you're doing healing work, or just before bedtime when you're kind of like in that dozy phase. Here's a funny one for you. So I am a yoga teacher, but I came and did another yoga teacher's class, and it was funny. I laid in Shavasana and I was freaked out. I'm like, and it wasn't even Shavasana, the whole class. I could feel this energy in the room, and I was like, okay, do I need to do a clearing after this class? Like, who brought what in? What is going on? And even when the teacher in Shavasana came to do an adjustment, it scared the bejesus out of me, because I was so like distracted by this energy in the room. And I said that to her after the class. I was like, I don't know what's going on, but there is something. She's like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. That's my spirit guide. And she had a spirit guide that would come in for her while she was teaching yoga. So there's another example, just connecting to that energy and allowing it to be supportive through the work that you're doing. You may or may not feel their energy. Hopefully you do, because that makes it so much better. Other ways you could work with your spirit guide. Maybe just depending on how you receive information, you might just like naturally receive those messages from them. You could ask a question of your spirit guide and then wait for the answer. And again, that will depend on how you receive information, how you might receive that message. You know, maybe it's a vision, maybe it's auditory, maybe you automatic write it. However that comes through for you, you could do it that way. Trying to think if there's anything else off the top of my head. Sometimes we just ask our spirit guide to come in and guide us in the right direction, and then we just have this knowing. This, like, this is where I need to go. This is the book I need to grab. This is the website I need to go to. That is your spirit guide guiding you in the right direction too. Yeah, that's some ways to use or connect with your spirit guide to actually work with them. Again, if you want to learn more, reach out. Again, I will put that link for the spirit guide meditation into the show notes so that you can try that out and meet one of your spirit guides. The intention for it was to meet someone that your spirit guide that you are working with in this moment, but you could set the intention for something else. If you wanted to meet a specific spirit guide for yourself, you could call on that. Yeah, it's good to be back. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here and being a part of my journey. Thank you for allowing me to be your spiritual tour guide from my heart and soul to yours. Have an amazing rest of your day.